good morning. So I took out that little 2x4 and I have to put a piece in here. So what I'm going to do is I went to the depot, got a couple 2x6s, and I'm going to come in here, pretend this is a 2x6. I'm going to put block, and then I'm going to put another 2x6 sister board attached to this one at that level all the way down. So that'll be my backing and framing for the end of the plywood there. And on this side, I'm going to do it a little differently because reasons. For one, it's a longer span, so I'm going to have it around here. And I have hangers I'm going to install. Well, it's probably going to have to be back a little bit. Kind of how they had it. They were kind of stuck with using that 2x4, but I'm going to do it a little different. I'm going to put a 2x6 from here to here. I'm going to have a board going across, hopefully. I have to figure it out. Maybe I'll just notch it and go over that. I don't know. By the way, it's going to be a thicker board, and I'll most likely have a notch. I kind of wanted to go this way, but I wasn't paying attention to this pipe. So either way, we're kind of stuck doing it a certain way. I just don't like the 2x4 that long of a run. It just, I don't know. It doesn't really matter. It's around 4 feet. It's not super structural. I would love to know what that can is for. It looks like it's hanging there catching a drip or something. Or it was. It's bone dry in there. Weird. Anyway, let's get to framing. We'll figure it out. Just my luck. One of these fucking rocks came off. It fell down and hit an old, looks like, spigot down there. Now it's leaking. Oh joy. That's what it hit. How fucking annoying is that? At least it was an easy fix. So it just hit this, turned the valve on, and then started leaking into the wall. There really should have been an access panel here if that was going to be left there, so you don't have to destroy the sheetrock just like that. So if you're ever going to leave a pipe and a wall that will run water or leak water in the future, put a damn access panel. Plus there's a clean out right here. You want to be able to get to these if you ever have to get to them. You know what I mean? They're called clean outs for a reason. So maybe some of y'all learned from that. I'm probably just going to take this off and cap it when I do the plumbing. It's good to see that that was there because that could have been a future bigger leak. Say lovey. At least it was easy to stop. All right, folks, that's one side framed. I put this this block here, it's notches supporting. This back block is actually resting on a concrete ledge, so it's going absolutely nowhere. I'm sorry if you can't see that. There you go. And this block is to keep sway and twist. I mean, it's not super, I just need some support because there's a toilet here. You know, it's going to be weight, people's asses, all that good stuff. So it needs to not have any flex on the floor. I did 2x6 with the hanger going across. I wish I had 25-degree hangers for these, but it's not the end of the world. I mean, it's so in there. Where the hell's it gonna go? Now the new plywood, I decided I'm gonna do 2 pieces at this seam probably, or splitting one of these boards. I'm gonna tuck it under here, reframe the new wall here, then go up from there because I took out all this wall as well. So this side's basically framed in. Nice and true, looking good. I still have to fur up this side of the floor. This is the high side. Fur up this side and get all these to go relatively level. And now I'm gonna frame this side, board, another board on top, and that side, quick and easy. Always do the hard shit first. At least that's what my brother taught me when I was a kid. And then the easy stuff after, because it's just smooth sailing anyway. All right. Huh. Well, let's try and catch that before it becomes a bigger problem, huh? I could have gone right through the ceiling down below. Jeez. All right, now I gotta cut this flange off of this lead bin for the toilet because it's way too high. This is 3/4, so that'll be the plywood. It'll be a little bit more because I'm gonna shim the floor. You know, but we still got 2.5, almost 3 inches up, so we don't need all that. The tiles and the mortar and the self-leveling cement, whatever I put, it's not gonna make up all that difference. So I'm gonna sawzall it off right at the base of that other flange because I don't have my torch here at the moment, and I don't want to stink up the house with burning poo anyway. So we'll just cut that bad boy off, and then we'll be better. It'll be out of the way. Then we can put just drill a hole in the plywood and plop it right in the spot. And it'll be perfect. And this side's easier, so I got all the stone out of my way. Chipped it out of the way. It's all clear, so I can go as tight as I can with wherever the square is for this place. And since this wall's in, this sheet of plywood is going to be in further. I'm going to have to cut that back. Cut it off later because I want to put a straight line for the new saddle. But we'll see how that turns out. But I'll cut this back so I can have just a notch because these walls are a little off from each other. Anyway, let me cut this off. Oh, guys. So that is the old lead bin. Cut right under the flange. Ooh, made in America. Anyway, cut right under the flange. It's all good. There's a little tear right back here, but it's not a big deal. It's still plenty high. I'll have to cut below that line anyway. And then bend it over the new flange on top of the flooring, the new floor. I'll be good to go. Anyway, I'll leave that melted bag in there to keep the vapor out. And now it's prepped for plywood. Here's all the cuts for that board. All right, now you can see there's a bunch of different cuts. This is the air register, toilet, pipe, corner with pipes and notch. And another notch, and then a bevel up. There's a 1/4 inch difference from that point to that point because this wall goes whoop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shim this floor first, make sure it's level, going across this way. This level will be fixed with my pour. This level gets fixed with the framing. Now, this is a 4.5 inch hole. That's smaller than 4.5, but it also tapers open. So we're gonna see how that goes. I might have to bore this out more. I'm not really gonna show you guys me putting this in, because it's gonna be me screaming and cursing and slamming crap around. I'm sure you'll experience that if you do something like that yourself. So I'm just gonna get it in there. I'll show you the aftermath, and then we'll start framing some walls. Hopefully this goes relatively smooth. Again, these sections right here, where the pipe cutouts, it's gonna slide under that wall to close in all that gap. And then there'll be a wall on top. All right, let's see how it fits. All right, like usual, I was forced to do something I didn't want to do. I had to cut the board again. More pieces, because this damn register. So now you can see how it tapers down and it's still not gonna go in. So I'm gonna have to open this up more, because I didn't have a 5-inch bit. Whatever, that's life. I'll just open it up some more, get it on there where we need it. And then this will just plop right in place. All the cuts look nice and tight, nice and even. Then I'll just put this strip in, which should be the easiest of them all. Oh joy. Had to get a brand new chisel because my other one, well, it's down in the wall somewhere, way down there. So in a decade or two, when somebody tears that wall open, they'll find an old beat up chisel. Made in work. Nothing like it. And there's a couple issues I'm running into here. Remember this double beam? So this was the high beam. This beam has a roll in it, and this edge is super high. I'll show you what I mean. Now I want this plywood to kind of meet level here. But if you see what's going on, whoop, 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 whoop. And this board's relatively straight. You know, it's not perfect, but it's pretty damn straight. So I need these two planes to be perfect, so they meet without a jump. And that's obviously too high. So I'm gonna have to plane this bad boy down, chisel it down, sand it down, all the way almost. Like in the center here, where's that one spot? There's one spot where it's pretty damn decent, like right there. Even though I have to shim up the other boards. In the end, it's the exact opposite. I don't have to do anything, or it's down. Because the plywood's gonna rest here. I'll screw this one and screw this one. I'm not gonna pay attention to this one. But I have to get it out of my way because it's messing up my work. You can actually see it from a distance. You see how this, well, I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but I can pick it up with my eyeballs. Pretty damn high, this edge, so I gotta bring this down. I guess it's a good thing I got a new chisel, huh? Now you can see the planer did the bulk of the work, right? But you really just can't get to the wall with the planer, so I'm gonna have to use big old belt sander to really tuck up against that wall and then come as close as I can and just touch this a little bit. So I really want these plywoods to meet up even. It's not the end of the world because there's a board going over right here. That's gonna be our step. But we got to get this all down. This is actually the highest spot, so some crazy heavy grit on this stuff. It'll eat right through it, no problem. Alrighty, here's the new floor, plywood floor. All done, nice and solid, as it should be. We've got a little room around the lead. Not that we need it, but we have it. It's good. Little room around the register. Not that we need it, but we have it. The gap's a little bigger than I like, but it's not the end of the world. It will be covered. The seems nice and tight. Now you can see where the leveling, see it's a bit high on this side, but it's level with the wall board. So I'm gonna cut this crap off in the future when I put the new ceiling. I'm gonna cut a line here to get rid of this ugly flooring for the new saddle of the door, which will be a stone most likely. All right, so cool. Now that the floor's in and everything's safe and squared away, we're going to start with the walls. This wall is going to be furred out. This wall is going to be 2x3 up against the wall here, all the way down. It'll jut back in, making a tighter wall in this section where the toilet is because it's so tight. And another 2x3 wall on top of this wall, reframed for the new mirror. I'll put backing blocks in, which they kind of had one here to begin with, but it was, you know, it wasn't being used or anything. And then we'll figure out this electrical mess and get that all squared away. And plumbing, this plumbing will probably have to be changed as well because the toilet's going to be a lot lower than where it was at. These shouldn't be affected so much, but I'm going to change those valves to new ones. All right, let's get to framing. All right, so I'm up here trying to prep this wall. If you look down, you see all those stones sticking out? Got these old kind of shelf and mortar because they packed it in after when they did the framing. So obviously if I want to pull a wall up here, it's going to be a bit in the way, and I don't want to lose that much space to make a level wall. So what I did already over here, now I just start chipping that stone away so I can keep this board as tight as I can to the wall all the way down, so we don't lose a bunch of the shower. So that little section is done. I gotta continue all the way to here. Well, yeah, because I don't know if that's in the way. Whatever, maybe a little bit there. That's the only flat spot. So chisel this away, get it done so we can frame properly. All right, there's the beginning of the framing around the register, the wall around the plumbing. I'll be blocking that stuff in because I have to really go through the new plumbing and see what's all entailed because it's a lot. I couldn't get as close as I wanted to that wall for the sheer fact that this stone wall is not level to save anything. It's relatively tight there. It's kind of tight in certain spots, but whatever. It's as much as I can get out of it. Now this corner is going to jut in to 1x attached to this wall, shimmed out so they're straight and level as best as you can get them. Because there's that weird angle for the toilet here, so you have room on this side to get to these connections and the bolt in the floor. And then we have to piecemeal this kind of framing in when we get back to this job. It's got all this weird plumbing sticking out and in the way. All this weird plumbing and weird angles. This was the unsafe box that is now 100% safe. Same thing with that bad boy up there. So there's no more hazards in here, at least no hazards that are too obvious. Get safer every time we're in here. Anyhow, when we get back to it, we'll get back to the framing and squaring all this crap up. Thanks for watching.